welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya.
Why, hello there. Welcome back. It's Mr. McFlanagan. They needed me in MW2. You see those messages, those love messages I get saying, Mr. McFlanagan, stop being a tryhard. And I hate when you get these messages after a game and somebody says, hey, stop being a tryhard. MW2's not for tryhards, man. And don't you hate that when people try to tell you how to play? I mean, I like to win. I don't know about you guys, but winning is a fun thing. I'm a tryhard. I just accept it. I am a tryhard. I like to win. And the thing is, don't let somebody tell you how to play. I know I used to complain a lot about sniping and LMGs, and I still do. I still complain about it. But, you know, play how you want to play. Don't let somebody tell you how to play. You play your game, I'll play mine. I'm fine with it. I've come to accept it. But what I want to talk about today is the Halo franchise Part 2. We're going to get into the Part 2 of my ranting about Halo and where everything went wrong. You know, Halo 1, Halo 2 to me were masterpieces. I think they were well thought out. I think they had tons of development time. But what Microsoft likes to do to these really popular games is that when they make a lot of money, when these really popular games make tons of money, they push the game company to crank them out so they can make as much money as they can. And Halo is a Microsoft Studios game, if you know what I mean. It's one of those games. They owned Halo, and they just wanted to keep, you know, just taking their whip and lashing Halo to get it out quicker. And we all know that when these game companies get pushed to make games really, really fast, things are left out, mistakes are made. And to me, innovation doesn't always lead to a better game. A matter of fact, innovation sometimes it breaks the game. It just destroys the game. And one thing that really bothered me about the Halo franchise was the addition of Sprint. And if you don't know what Sprint is just that. It's Sprint. It makes your character run faster. I mean, every first-person shooter usually has Sprint. I think the Halo series was probably one of the few first-person shooters that didn't have Sprint. And I think Sprint really hurt the game. And the person that brought this to my attention was Abra, one of my good buddies. He said, you know, Sprint really killed this game. It actually slowed the game down. And I had some time to think about that. Halo 1 never felt slow and there was no sprint. Halo 2 never felt slow and there was no sprint. And the maps seem smaller and tighter, if you know what I mean. They just seem smaller and tighter. And I think that's one of the problems. Like Halo 3, to me, felt slower. Halo 2 didn't feel slow. Halo 1 didn't feel slow, but Halo 3 felt slower. And my buddy Abra is a huge Halo 3 fan, and he's like, you know, Halo 3 was my jam. You know, and if that was your first experience with Halo, I'm sure it was still a great game, because it still was fun. But to me, Halo 3 felt like a lot of walking. I felt like I was constantly just walking all the time with no action. And you know, it still was a great game, but it just didn't have that instant action pack, you know, the action-packed feel of Halo 1 and Halo 2. It just didn't. Like Halo 1, if the map was too big, they put portals in. You could walk through the portal and then you instantly were in the action. Halo 2, you know, the map's design kind of made it where you didn't even need portals. You just automatically were in the action. I mean, there was a couple maps that were a little big. There was a couple DLC maps that were kind of big. But for the most part, the maps were just action-packed. Now, like I said, Halo 3 just seemed kind of slow, and it seemed like, you know, in Halo 4, how they compensated for the slow play is Sprint. They thought, well, if we add Sprint like Call of Duty, it's going to speed the game up, it's going to make it better. But it really, really didn't. And the reason is because they added a bad version of Sprint. Now, Sprint, to me, you should be able to sprint around and still be able to pull your gun up fairly fast, so that the moving player has an advantage over the camping player. And in Call of Duty, it feels like that. Even though I'm sprinting around, I still have the advantage because I can pull my gun up quick and engage the camping player. Where in Halo, it's not like that. You sprint in Halo. Let me paint a picture for you real quick. You're in Halo, okay? And you're sprinting around the map, and you see a character. You see another Master Chief standing out in the battlefield, and you pull your gun up to shoot him. Well, they made it where you cannot pull your gun up fast after sprint. And it puts you at a clear disadvantage against a player that's camping because he's always going to get the first shot on you, if that makes sense. Now, in Halo 1, 2, and 3, there was no sprint, so it was always on an even keel as to who got the first shot. That's where the jump shotting came in, or the juking, your strafe shooting. And I feel like strafe shooting was huge in Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 1, but Halo 4, the strafe shot it seemed horrible. It seemed like strafing didn't even matter. Like they just they nerfed the strafe shoot, which that's where all the skill was. So a big problem for me was sprint. The sprint was broken. I mean, in Halo Reach and Halo 4, the sprint was broken because you can't pull your gun up fast enough to get the first shot. I mean, go play SWAT in Halo 4. If you play SWAT, which SWAT is a no-health game, like you just one-shot everybody, and everybody just camps in it because the sprint makes it where you can't pull your gun up fast enough to kill. So sprint killed Halo 4, sprint killed Halo Reach, for me at least. I felt it slowed the game down drastically. That was a huge mistake, I feel, on their part. I think they could have got some better map design, a little bit more well-thought-out maps and map flow versus adding sprint, because sprint works well in Call of Duty. It really does, but it just does not work well in Halo. I mean, tell me what you guys think, but I think that was a big mistake on their part. On top of the armor lock abilities, I mean, Reach armor lock abilities, are you kidding me? He's Master Chief. You don't give him armor lock abilities. You don't need that shit. Gun on gun kills, my friend. That's where the fun is in first person shooters. Gun on gun kills. But that's some more Halo ranting. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm Mr. McFlanagan. Peace out. Enjoy your Friday, for darn sakes.